marathons, spent all his time doing, no longer exists for him to make money off of. People have then cataloged it and saved it, so they have the evidence of it on the interwebs, which the internet's going to do internet things. Now, to add even more insult to injury, I'm going to make money off this video too.
Just for the record, before I eat anything, well, it looks like I'm gonna have to change the venue of this video because I gotta work all night long. Man, that gut issue really pisses me off. I did a body fat test, one of those electronic ones where they hook you up to you stand on a scale and it's got the electrical things you hold on to, and it's supposed to scan like bone density and lean muscle mass, and it was saying that I was at 11% body fat, which to have the gut stick out like that when I get bloated, it really pisses me off. But the new diet I'm on and the treatments that they got me doing just to sort of clean things up and help where it can, it seems to really be working, because I still get bloating. So if I eat, like, if I'm bad and I eat some sugar, I still blow up like a puffer fish, but I'm able to show off the abs a little bit more. I hate it when I get comments about Palumboism. Guys just assume that I've been doing like insulin and HGH for years, and I only started taking anabolics, we'll say, at the age of 46, you know, so I haven't even been doing them that long. I found out the coworkers watch these videos. I'm addressing you guys directly. I am on break right now, so I'm not on company time. And if you guys are watching the video, shout me out. You see me at work, like, hit me up. Like, let's train together. You guys live in Vegas. I know you guys want to get all muscly and whatnot. We share common interests. Like, shout me out, guys. Like, let's start training together. There's enough of you. I know you guys lift weights. I lift weights. Let's lift weights. Alright, so in this video, I'm doing one of the longest workouts of my life. I do squats, I do shoulder presses, and I'm doing a lot of like rows, cable pulls, that kind of thing. The idea was that I want to do enough work, have a long enough session to wear myself out properly so that I could take a day off and start to diving into some of those models that I asked you guys to vote on. I think I'm going to paint Vulcan Heaston, which is the smallest figurine, but I need to get him on the table so that I have an army that I can actually play. And then my son and I are going to go down to War Room Games or one of those places, and we're going to register and we're going to play. And so hopefully we'll get that on video, and that'll be kind of cool from the Warhammer crowd. I did notice that I lost a few subscribers, and it correlated directly to when I started talking politics. And my thoughts were, you know what? Last few videos, we're getting a little political, and that's never been my thing. Now, that's not to say I don't talk about current issues, things that affect us. And unfortunately, it seems like everything is tied to politics, but I've really done my best over the years to try to keep that neutral. And the reason why is, I think it's fairly obvious that I lean conservative, but I would hardly call myself, I've never called myself a conservative or a liberal. I'm just me. You know, I believe in the Bill of Rights. I believe in, you know, freedom. The stuff that's we enshrined in our Constitution. I'm a Marine. I fought for my country. I'll take up arms again if I need to. But that doesn't mean I agree with like the current political climate and what they're using our armed forces for. So but you know, that's like, I don't know. I always just try to keep that out of it. And as far as like the divide in the gaming world, where it's like woke versus, you know, the things that I stand against as a father, as a man, you know, that's never stopped me from hanging out with people or breaking bread, or, you know, like, we could still play together is what I'm saying. So I wanted to put it out there that, like, I'm not against anybody, any individual. Even if you disagree with me, I had trolls that have been battering me for years, and like, I've been dealing with them, and there's only one person that I've ever blocked, and this guy was just so insufferable that I just was like, I can't do it anymore. Like, you know what's funny? To this day, I haven't watched any of his videos or seen any of his content. I have no idea what he's doing. But my friends that do watch his stuff tell me he's still bringing you you up. He's still whining about you. He's still calling you out for stuff. And I'm like, all right, he's a force of nature. He's not going anywhere. But I found that by completely ignoring him, it's made him so irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Like, he has no effect on my life whatsoever. What the point is like, there's really just nobody except for one person that I can't, like, you come, even if you hate my guts, if you come to me and say, you know, hey, I want to train, or I want to play Warhammer or a video game I'm into, let's go. Chances are, this is what I found online, we disagree with each other, and we're pretty ugly about it at times. I try not to be, but I've lost my composure. I'm not gonna lie. But I found that in real life, when you talk to people, even when you have those differences, you find that people are different in face to face, first of all, because I don't know if there's that in the back of your head, you know, you can get smacked for saying stuff, whereas opposed to when you're online, you got that keyboard that shields you from that kind of thing, and then you can report somebody and get them blocked. That happened to a friend of mine. This guy's like making videos and after videos and talking crap to him, and he finally makes a response video, and the guy reports him and gets him blocked for a couple of days. It's like, dude, come on. If you're gonna dish it out, at least take it. Point being, I found that, like, even people that I disagree with severely politically, you know, when we talk and we interact and we work together and we do our lives, I find that we have more in common than we have dissimilar. You know, the average person, whether you're a far leftist or an extreme, you know, whatever the right wing is, I don't even know what a right wing extremist is. They keep saying we exist, but I don't know what that looks like. I've never met one. Tell me what they are. Like, I see these things online, but in real life, in my interactions day to day, I haven't met anybody. But I found that, you know, like, we're all pretty much just trying to get by. You know, we wake up, we go to work, or whatever it is that we do to try to get enough money so we can put some food on the table. It's a struggle for everybody. I don't know any super rich people that have silver spoons and have everything handed to them. I don't know anyone that doesn't have to get up in the morning and put their boots on and go to work. Even the people that have cushy jobs, like I know a couple doctors, physical therapists, these guys work their butts off. They get up early. They work way more hours than we do. I know people that do office work, and they're up and they do that. Their job's a grind. You know, they're inundated. They're sitting at that computer all day. Just, God bless them. I don't know what I would do without them. And then you got guys like me that are out in the field, and we got our nose in the dirt. And I would say what I do is not even work compared to the guys that are actually up on the steel, hitched onto that sucker, slinging that iron, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just like when I meet everybody in the parking lot, or we're passing each other in the stores, you know, you run into everybody in the neighborhoods. We all have families. We're all just trying to do our thing, you know. And we might disagree on some of the finer points, but for the most part, I have not met a real true sociopath that's like, you know, patently evil and just trying to do the wrong thing for the sake of it. Almost everybody I've ever met, whether they agree with me or not, they're all in their own way trying to do the right thing. Is this a kumbaya moment? I don't know. You tell me. What I am saying is, like, for the people that are getting annoyed if this channel is, in your opinion, gotten too political, I'm sorry, that was never my intention. Politics are going to come up from time to time. We can't talk about the things that are important to us without somehow getting some kind of politics involved in it. It's unfortunate that it's come to that. And it used to be, I don't know, it wasn't that long ago where we could talk about disagreements and make fun of each other for being different. And I'd like to get back to that, you know? So, you guys, like I said, coworkers, you watching this, dude, if you're watching my videos, talk to me. I would love to hear your opinions in real life. Man, you guys can help me out. You can get involved, you know, especially if you're into lifting. Shoot, come on over. So, for any of you that are actually watching me train, I just finished my heavy set for squats. What I like to do is, no matter what kind of technical work I'm doing, whether it be, you know, like, I don't know, lengthened partials, where I'm working out with light weights, higher rep, specific ranges of motion, I like to kind of, in every workout, put some kind of a heavy AMRAP that's progressive. meaning more than last time. We naturally regress and progress during certain times of our lives. Like I will say that I was the strongest that I've ever been in my life for this competition in March. But then the second the competition was over, I kind of backed off my training to let my body heal, lost some weight. I got sick. That wasn't part of the plan, but that does happen. And in that time period, I lost some strength. So now you're getting it back. So progression starts from your weakest moment. So if you're one of those guys and you were able to squat 700 pounds, but you got sick, you lose 30 pounds of body weight, you spend a couple weeks in the hospital, whatever, car accident, condition, you got to start over. That's where you're progressing from. You're not progressing from your old numbers, you're progressing from your new numbers. So you reset everything and you're starting from reasonable numbers, because what'll tend to happen, guys like us who train hard, we're strong, we don't mentally handle it very well when we lose strength. So we start trying to force it. We try to force it based off of old training numbers, and they're only a month old. That's not the way to go. That's a good way to hurt yourself. So what I like to do is I like to gauge where I'm at and then go from those numbers. And I think it's a more enjoyable way to train. It makes more sense, and it's a lot easier on the body, because that's the number one thing guys my age ask me I was saying in a short video, a lot of guys will tell me like, hey, I used to bench 400 pounds, or they'll say some absurd number like 500. It's got to be 100 pounds more than what I ever did. I used to bench 500 pounds, but what do you do now? Oh, I can't. My shoulders are messed up. Well, what are you doing about your shoulders? Oh, they're too far gone. So, what do you mean? I mean, are you ashamed to start with light weights and bands and physical therapy? Like, what's the deal? Will your ego not allow you to do the little rinky-dink exercises that trolls online make fun of us for? Because if that's the case, like, I mean, you got to start somewhere. What was it, 2019? I lost the use of my leg. Like, my leg. I couldn't walk. Like, I couldn't move my leg. I lost the use of it. And I was squatting just under 600 pounds when that happened. Like, my sciatic nerve got completely pinched off. I had some problems with my L5 disc. Like, it was bad. And I had to start level 0 physical therapy, which was literally laying on the floor and just lifting my leg. That was it. That was my training. Lift your leg. And then after a week or so of that, I added bands to it. Now I'm doing clamshells with bands, like the Thigh Master. Who was that? Suzanne Summers? The fucking Thigh Master? That was my training. And then from there, I'm doing other little leg lifts, and then I'm doing one leg squats, and then with 135 pounds, and then, worked my way up. And after 6 months, I was back to squatting more than I ever squatted my entire life. And now I'm still PRing, but 80% of my training are these little lifts that are not impressive, or they don't show your strength off on YouTube. They're boring. They're, for all intents and purposes, not exciting to watch at all, unless you're afflicted and you're suffering and they're helpful to you. But the average person's going to look at that and be like, lengthened partials with 225 pounds, that's what he's bragging about? No, I'm not bragging about it. I'm showing you how to do it so that you can get to a 700-pound squat. All those little lifts that we do that keep us going in our late 40s, 50s, 60s, I learned to love the process. So now I have way, way, way more fun doing the physical therapy stuff than I do the 1-rep maxes. I do those insane heavy lifts because I have an ego issue and I need to feed that. Otherwise, I start thinking that I'm losing all my strength and I'm shriveling up and I'm going to die. Oh my God, I only squatted 585 this week. I'm losing it. No, we come and go. I wish that there was such thing as infinite linear progression, but if that was the case, we'd all be Eddie Hall, and there's only one Eddie Hall. You know what I mean? There's only one John Hack on the planet, and not everybody can be him. But I think what it is it's like, and that I stopped comparing myself to other lifters, and now I'm really just honed in on seeing what it is I can do. What can I wrench out of this withered body. The guy that has been consistently ahead of me in the rankings, Vassal, good friend of mine, awesome dude. He has a couple more years before he switches over to the 50 and over weight class. So I won't even be competing against him this year. But he was so far ahead of me that I had no chance in hell of ever catching him. Ever. So I stopped trying, and all I did was really focus on just getting my numbers up and seeing how much farther I could go. And without paying too much attention to what he was doing, because it's hard not to. The guy's there, and he's like amazing. I made 100 pounds of progress in 1 year. My last competition total was a 1560, and then this year was a 1650. That's 100 pounds at the age of 49. And you can say what you want, but that's pretty impressive. Drugs, natural, it doesn't matter. Somebody keep trying to do that. I got this meet coming up in October. Toughest, Tommy H. Man, I want it to be my best showing ever. I just keep looking at the calendar and I'm thinking, like, right now I'm doing a lot of conditioning training, just trying to see where my deficiencies are and really focusing on that kind of stuff. So it's not very exciting. But I'm looking at the calendar wondering, like, when should I start this training cycle? Like, it needs to be a robust one, and it needs to be something that peaks going into that competition. And like I'm like a pit bull, and they smell the pork chop, and he's looking for it. And it's like, patience. Right now is a good time to experiment and see where I can add things or take them away from my program, and really kind of work on just honing things in and simplifying stuff as much as possible. And it's also given me a chance to expand. And now that's why you see I'm getting back into illustrating and painting my Warhammer figurines. And I've gotten such a wonderful response for that. It's unbelievable. I held off all these years talking about this stuff because I thought it would tank my channel and no one would be interested. And nothing was farther from the truth. I've been gaining subscribers left and right, and you guys are awesome. And I will say this, the level of vitriol from the people that disagree with me on that side of the fence is way, way, way more than the weightlifting side. So that's been interesting too. I thought that the trolls and the people that harassed you on the weightlifting forums, the circles, were bad. They ain't got nothing compared to the table gaming crowd. Holy crap. My Lord. Like, the whole sexual identity thing is just off the charts. And they're very divided on the opinion. What it has taught me was to get back to really, really researching both sides of an argument and seeing where it is that if I really believe myself to be right about something, I need to find out why it is so many other people believe us to be wrong, if that makes sense. So that's been helping me grow as a person. All I can tell you is I've been really enjoying diversifying. I've gotten back into illustration. I've had more than a few people ask me if I was going to start tattooing again. And, they asked me, why did you stop? Why did you, and I said, man, I got a family to feed. Like, am I going to make enough money doing that to be able to replace the income I get from construction? And would I even want to? I mean, I really do really enjoy what I do for a living. It is pretty cool. I've gotten to the point where, I guess I could say I paid my dues and I've worked my way up enough to a spot where it's actually enjoyable. I like going to work. And I really love this job. As much as you can love a job, don't get me wrong. If you gave me the choice between like lifting full-time or illustrating full-time, would you leave this for that? I'm like, I don't know. Because when I was illustrating, it turned into a job really fast. See, here's the thing, when we're doing passion projects and we're doing work for the sake of work, the art for the sake of art, or creating something for the sake of creating something, it's wonderful. It's an excellent way. It's an excellent distraction, a waste of time. It's fun. It's glorious. But the second you start doing commission work, so you're doing work for other people, and it sort of, I don't want to say robs the passion from it, But it turns it really quickly into work, and it can become kind of a grind, you know. I ran into that when I had to really go back and think about it. Like, why did you stop illustrating? And I think what it was is that we were on such a tight schedule, and I wasn't very passionate about the artwork that I was doing, and I just wanted to just get it done, you know. And I found that I wasn't giving my best quality work. So the struggle, no matter what you guys are doing, no matter what, whether it's sweeping or it's building America or it's creating grand art, the struggle is bringing your passion to it and giving 100% all the time. And none of us are going to. I don't care who you are. But trying to give it your all. Like, that's where it's at. It's the effort. The struggle is in the glory. And it's the same thing with the stuff that when we are passionate about it. I love training. But when I'm getting ready for a competition, holy crap, that turns into a grind really fast. Man. Yeah, I remember this last meet, I couldn't wait to be done with that program. And that last week, where I got to see if it all paid off or not, up right before that, I didn't want to do it anymore. I was ready to quit. I really was. And that's where you dig deep. And that's, I think, what separates us from, we'll say, the normies, is that passion we have, that a little bit of extra drive. I don't know if it's from mental sickness. I don't know if it's from a history of abuse or a rough life, but whatever it is, we were given a gift of like just being able to dig deep. And the challenge is to bring that to whatever your endeavors are, because at the end of the day, here's the deal. We chose to do what we're doing. Nobody put a gun to our head. And nobody's putting a gun to our head to stay doing what we're doing. Now, we might have our reasons where it feels like a gun to your head, like, you know, if I were to quit my job and burn all my bridges, like, the consequences would be unpalatable. So it can kind of feel like, yeah, it is a little bit of a slave situation, because you feel like you have to do what you're doing, whether you like it or not. But that's really a lie. Well, it is. We can do whatever we want. I can put this truck in drive and take off right now if I wanted to. But now, instead, I'm going to finish this video and I'm going to go inside and see what the boys are up to, because that's what I'm getting paid to do. It's as simple as that. But it does kind of put a little spark above me where it says, you know what? You have options. Maybe you can still do this. You know, maybe it isn't too late. I mean, how cool would that be? How cool would that be? But I think what it's probably going to look like is me grinding a little bit and doing both until the second becomes sustainable. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to quit my good paying job that supports my family to pursue a fool's errand, a dream that, if it does come true, could possibly replace what I'm doing. Until then, I'm going to probably have to grind it out and do both. Then it comes down to time management, you know, and all else. There's struggles that comes with, but it's all part of the deal, man. I've been dealing with people that have a very nihilistic view of life, and they keep asking the question, like, what does any of this matter? Like, why do you do what you do? And if I let that get to me, I do lose focus of what's important, because I don't have a good answer for them. I don't know why it's important to try to be the best at my age in lifting when nobody's going to remember me ever. I don't know why I love illustrating or playing table games. I don't know why it's important to try to argue against lore that's fictional and it doesn't matter. But it does. It's important. I don't know. Why were we given a drive? Why were we given passions? Like, if life means nothing, proceeds nowhere, and dissipates into endless dark, and there's no point to any of it, don't let nihilism seep it. It's what do they call it? The black pill? Don't take the black pill. It's a lie. It is a lie. And then you wind up worshiping the darkness. You know what I mean? That's what it is, you know, when there's nothing for us to worship, we will find, like, something will latch onto it. That's what you're seeing a lot of with the state now, and these people that are godless and have no higher power or higher meaning. Like, they're literally like worshiping the state. The state's becoming the religion that they so rail against. It's got all of the same features, minus the higher power. The higher power is the state. Well, you know, the people that are black-pilled and they've given into nihilism, that's there too. Absolutely, 100%. You see it in these incel forums and things of that nature where they all kind of collectively come together and all worship the misery. And then they're like crabs in a bucket, and they keep others from coming out of that, you know. I don't know what to say. Don't let nihilism ruin your life. It's the cause of all the evil on the planet. If you ask me what the meaning of life is and what the purpose is, I can't tell you, but I can tell you that we find joy in the struggle, you know what I mean? It's the journey, you know. You miss out on so much when you get locked into yourself. I think being of service to others, putting yourself second sometimes really, really helps. You're thinking a little bit more about other people than you do about yourself. And that's to say that you can't or aren't selfish. You could be totally selfish, but if you can just manage to put something above yourself and your own selfish needs, there's a lot of joy to be found in that. And I can't tell you why. I think we're just gregarious by nature, and we were meant to be of service to other people. It could be as simple as that. I don't know. Well, shoot, guys. This is going on 25 minutes. Holy crap, I've been rambling. I gotta get back to work. I got like 5 more minutes on my break here. Hey, if you made it this far, I want you to say something derogatory about the little booty shorts I wear when I train, or pick something. Lay it on me. I love you guys. I will see you on the battlefield.